What's going on, folks? Welcome back to Green Beret Chronicles. All right, today I want to speak to you guys about special forces taking on the cartel, right? Because President Trump just signed an executive order which essentially allows him to use the military to go after the different cartels that are out there. And like, I tend to rage on this topic because a lot of people that don't know what's going on think that we're just going to go in and just bang hammers and then the cartel will disappear. But having done this job for 20 plus years, I know that's not the case at all. It's never that easy. If it was, then we wouldn't be in this place to begin with. But I wanted to bring Tom on and just pick his brain because he's done he's been fighting this war on a different front, and he has some in-depth knowledge as far as what that might look like. Tom, if you don't mind, just let the folks know who you are, what your background is, and then we'll go from there.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. I spent about 9 years active duty in the Marines, combat engineer, and I just wanted a change. Got hired by the Drug Enforcement Administration and worked for DEA for 21 years. But during that time, after 9/11, I came back into the Marine Reserves. So I've done deployments as a Marine to Iraq and other places while being a DEA agent. And during the time in Iraq and some of these other deployments, the Marine Corps leaned heavily on my special agent skills as a DEA agent. In 2007, I went through selection for, actually 2006, but got assigned to DEA's Foreign Deployed Advisory Support Team. It was known as FAST. It was deactivated in 2017. However, the 5.5 years or so I was in FAST, I deployed to Afghanistan 5 times, targeting the drug organizations that were funding the Taliban. Spent a lot of time with their group, specifically with ODA 3116. Did some time with some Navy SEALs, and also worked with MARSOC. I was as a reservist assigned to MARSOC for 3.5 years, training the MSOTs to deploy to Afghanistan. And throughout that time, I've seen how the drug trafficking organizations in Afghanistan, but also other places, how they fund corrupt politicians, officials, and also they, in the case of Afghanistan, funded the Taliban, which, as we saw what happened, they outlasted us. We're the most powerful nation in the world, and the Taliban defeated us on the battlefield, and drugs are really the mechanism which funded them to continue to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how successful would you say was those 5 deployments or those 5 years you spent in Afghanistan running and gunning? Were you guys able to, probably hit some pretty legit targets, compensate some legit stuff? What do you guys think you did wrong there while you guys were in Afghanistan doing work?
So, you and I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Really, what folks need to understand is we operate under different authorities. I was over there as a DEA agent under the authority of Title 21, which is the Controlled Substances Act. That's what gives us the authority to arrest and prosecute people in the United States and now internationally. We worked through the embassy, and we were essentially invited by the Afghan government to work with their law enforcement to develop target packages, investigations on individuals and networks, and then we would prosecute those in a similar way we do in the United States. However, because of the threat level, we would have enabler packages of Green Berets, Navy SEALs, contractors, and each of those 5 deployments was a little different. My first one in 2007, we kind of did it on our own, and it was more traditional, where I would work informants, and we would do wire intercepts, tapping phones, very similar to how we operate in the U.S. And then we would build enough evidence to go out and hit a target and capture somebody,